Hey guys, Dave here. So this will be the last video for today. And it's a video I've wanted to do for a while. I kind of got an accumulation of a bunch of stuff from the same maker at about the same time. Now you guys know a while back I had gotten I talked to you guys about Dalibor Bergam and the Regulus that I got from Hands. Now this one had been, I absolutely fell in love with his knives. I had seen several reviews and videos and stuff, not just about the Regulus but about the Sirius as well. The Regulus, Regulus, okay, and the Sirius is Sirius. Now Dalibor, I email him quite often. I talk to him as often as I can, but I don't want to bug him either. But I can tell you that I as soon as I got this knife in particular and heard this lockup, and just realized that this knife locks up like a vault, that there's absolutely no blade play. Guys, I'm torquing on that, and there is no blade play whatsoever. He uses high quality, this is razor sharp 3V steel, okay, 0.22 thick. It's just, it's everything. This is just my personal opinion, okay? This is, just me. It's everything that I would like in a knife. A V ground, very, it's leaner than, some of the other hard users and stuff like you see, like Crusader, Medford's. I know there's a lot of talk about that, usable edges and stuff, but guys, I'm telling you guys, this knife is razor sharp. And ever since I got this one, I have had just I had a feeling about this when I first saw, I think the first one I saw talk about Dalibor's work was Carter, Juju 1313. And so, hats off to him, because I saw him talk about the Sirius. And then I saw Jeff talk about it, Tough Thumbs, and as soon as I saw the knives, I knew that that was probably going to be a knife that I would be very interested in, just based on how it was made, the materials that were used, and just hearing, even before I heard it, but just hearing the lockup, in those videos that they did, I had a feeling that I was going to be a big fan. And so I had been looking for one for a while, and when I got this one from Hands, I was just super excited. I jumped all over it. He'll tell you, I immediately, as soon as I saw it, I was, super excited to get it. Now this one has been modified somewhat by Jeff. Originally this was the satin orange peel finish. And he has, I guess, sandblasted this, and it's just got a nice stone washing to it, or just kind of a bead blast finish to it on the tie now, because this is not a finish that Dalibor offers, although he does have a new one that is stonewash finish that he is, yeah, I'll talk more about the stonewashing in a little bit, because that's the one I'm most anxious to get. But even the way these pivots come, I'll show you another one of my knives that I've gotten from him, but you can see this is how the orange peel really comes, and you can see the darkness. And not everybody is a fan of the orange peel, but it's also probably one of the best wearing finishes that you're going to find. A little slick, feeling, but these knives, it's full titanium. There's nothing to really grip onto or anything besides the jimping all over the place depending on where that's at. No hot spots. The the knife, his knives are just amazing. So I just want to take this, this video might go a little bit longer, but I just want to kind of talk about them in general, because I have definitely got a few in addition to the Regulus, and I have more on order. Unfortunately, his order book is closed right now, but he closed it fairly early because he did not want to get to where he had these 2 and 3 year waiting lists and stuff that are just completely out of control. And I respect him for that, because it does get kind of ridiculous if you think about the scheme of things of 6 months waiting list, and he's just going to have people chomping at the bit to get knives from him as soon as that list comes open. So he'll probably open it up, it'll be open for a short period of time, and he'll probably have another 6 months worth of work. I know that on Instagram, he's on Instagram too. And a bunch of, I see the comments and stuff that are made, and people are just like, wow, where can I get one of those? And, you know, so I just want to talk about his knives in general here, and the reason that I like them so much. Now, the Regulus is the flagship. The handle and everything is based on, you know, almost all the rest of his knives are based on this handle. You will see that the handle for the Sirius basically looks exactly the same, except for all he has done is chop that off. Just that little piece right there, you can see, you know, the difference right there. You can see that's all that's been done. The handle is basically the same. Even in size, it is basically the same, okay? You can see that right there, that just disappears. They are basically the same size. Now, you will see the difference. The blade on the Sirius is 3.5 inches long, okay? The blade on the Regulus is 4 inches long with a 5-inch handle. And like I said, 0.2 thick, and these are 3/16 titanium. You can see the slight difference there, as the blade is a little bit thicker than both sides of the tie. So 0.22 thickness on the 3V steel. Oh man, this thing is such a tank. This is like, you know, what I call my beast mode. I put a picture on there the other day, and I was carrying my, you know, big old, what's it called, Jason Stout cleaver in my, that's my beast mode carry, man, is carrying these two. But I want to talk about my newer ones. And first up is, this one is actually not the Sirius that I got. We just did, Bone Slice and I just did a really quick trade. And matter of fact, I made sure Dalibor was cool with it before I traded it, because I had just gotten it. And there's 3 or 4 different ways that he does his handles. And the stonewashing is the newest. But this is the original version, which was just the orange peel, satin orange peel finish. Okay, and then you could get this satin orange peel finish 2 different ways. You could get it squared handles to where the edges were kind of sharper. You know, that's just the way that he was doing them. Or you could get them slightly contoured on the edges. Okay, so it looked a little bit more rounded for the handle. Jimping, and you know, the jimping and everything on top was exactly the same and in the back. All right. Now you know, the way he has them now is you can also get these contoured and sculpted, and then flame anodized. You can get them squared, sculpted, anodized. You know, the sculpting, I know, is there's an upcharge for the sculpting, and I don't think the anodizing is an extra charge, because like the orange peel would be a finish and the other would be a finish. But I know sculpting there's an upcharge for. But the one I originally got was squared and sculpted with flame anodized. Now, I mean, I love the way the knife was, but Bone Slice got one that he found, you know, that, matter of fact, that's why I bought my, oh, that's a knife I forgot to talk about. Anyways, he had gotten a knife, and he wanted to swap it out or send it back to Dalibor to have all this work done. And I said, man, that's going to cost you a ton of shipping and everything else. I said, why don't we just trade Sirius for Sirius? So I just got this yesterday. And, you know, I meant to do this video sooner, like last week. But so this is the one, this is actually the one that Bone Slice got, but it is like brand new. I mean, this knife was only slightly before mine. This, you'll see the Born On certificate is February, 11th, 2013. So this is the Sirius that he had, and mine was just, you know, April something. I mean, it was, I just got it. And there are pictures of it on Instagram, actually, so if you wanted to check it out. And Bone Slice, he's Bone Slice 22 on Instagram if you wanted to, he put pictures up of it already. But, and thanks for the trade, bud. He also threw in, by the way, a really cool case. There was an upcharge for the sculpting, like you said, and this is like one of those cases that you get from Blue Line Gear when you buy a Strider or something. So he threw that in, really cool. But anyways, the difference, I guess I want to just get back into this. The 3.5-inch blade on the Sirius, you can see, you know, somewhat of a Tonto. You can see it does drop down there quite a bit, but it does round down at the bottom, so not a true Tonto. If somebody wanted to say modified Tonto, you know, I guess they could, but it really, you know, it's not. But I will tell you that the forward grip on all of his knives is just a great one. You can get it, just there's a little notch back here. I'll tell you, there's a difference, and he has just made a subtle difference, and I was going to email him about this. He had asked me what I thought about it, and now after having the original one, he had dropped this down on mine. This little, if you guys can see right here, you can see that how it kind of crevices down just a little bit, right? Well, he had dropped it another 1.4 millimeters. And at first I didn't know how I was going to like it. First of all, how it looked, or, you know, how it felt. And I will tell you now that after getting this one in my hand, because the one that he did for me was the first one he did with the slight change. And I will tell you, after getting this in my hand, I actually prefer this method, you know, this way better. Because to me, you're having to push down more when it's deeper. And this one actually gives me even more purchase on the knife by it not being so shallow in, you know, with that cutout. So, you know, I'm going to email him about it anyways, and he may see this video, you know, when it uploads. Actually, he'll probably be sleeping when this thing. He is in Zagreb, Croatia, in case you guys did not know. But I love this knife. I love everything about this knife. I don't know if I'm going to change anything on this knife. I had thought about maybe doing something stonewashing or something like this, but man, I sure do like it. So I got this one yesterday, so I just wanted to talk about that, and I'm trying to do some comparisons here so you guys can see the size difference. Now, you would think that, you know, because of the way those look right there, that it's much bigger than just a 1/2 inch. Well, it's really not. Yes, because of the handle size and everything, but if you look at blade size and you go to where it really is, now you can see that it really only is about a 1/2 inch difference. Okay, because the way these handles come down, you look at actual blade size and you can see where the pivots are. You can see where the pin, you know, the, what's it called, the thumb stud, you know, which also works as a over travel. Excuse me. But you can see that the difference is really only about a 1/2 inch in blade size. Okay. So now I want to talk about a knife that was another knife, and I love the knife. It's absolutely one of my favorites. Let me see if I have it here. That is not it. I know it's here somewhere. Yeah, it's buried. So the next up, the one that I got next was Shox1 on USN. He is also Shox1 on Instagram. He is Shox1 on YouTube. He does not do a lot of videos, but he does do videos. But this is a collaboration between Dalibor and Alpha Hunter Tactical. And you guys can see Alpha Hunter. You guys know I just put up the vid a little while back where I was showing the Alpha Hunter stuff that I got in the auction. And you'll see Dalibor's mark right there. DB, Dalibor Bergam. And that's B-E-R-G-A-M. M as in Mary, and 3V steel. 3V on everything, guys. And so now here you can kind of see the difference, and this is what I was talking about with regards. The sculpting is very light. It is not a deep, there you can kind of see it in the light. It is not a deep sculpting by any stretch, but the nice flame anodizing, and I absolutely fell in love with this knife. I had posted something on USN saying that if anybody got theirs and did not want it, and I'm telling you guys, I posted it way before they were even shipping out. So, you know, I was early because I really wanted one badly. I love the harpoon style blade that this has. Basically the same size as a Sirius, but once again you come down to the handle size. You can see the handle, you would say, is just a little bit longer. You know, you got about a 4.5 inch handle here, and you got about maybe a 4 3/4 inch handle here on the Namor. Okay, and you know, you'll say Namor, it's just Roman spelled backwards. Okay, but the Namor was a collaboration between the two, and it was a USN thread, and I think there were either 10 or 11 total, because I know that Alpha Hunter had one, you know, early, but I don't know if that was included in the 10. But anyways, Shox1, you know, he saw my post and he knew I kept on, you know, making mention about it, anybody who was getting one, and he was one of the fortunate ones to get in the run, and he wanted to grab some other stuff, and so he said if I was interested, you know, that he'd sell it to me, and I immediately, I was like, yes, absolutely. And jumped at the chance to get this. So Bud, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you more than you know, Bud. Anytime you need anything, Bud, you just give me a shout, you let me know. But yeah, I just could not be happier to get this Namor, and I'm such a fan of the knife. I mean, I got offered a ridiculous amount for this knife right after I bought it, and it's an amount that everybody else would have jumped at the chance to get, and I wanted another one before I would have even said yes, and I couldn't say yes because I wanted the knife so badly. And I love this harpoon blade. I love the way it just locks in. The forward grip on this thing is amazing. Blood and Flowers has a video on this that's very detailed. So if you guys are, looking for real serious details and stuff, go check it out. You guys know BTF, he's an operator, so I mean, I would trust his judgment. I have not used this knife enough to give you a full-blown overview of what I, really think. I'm just going over the particulars and kind of talking about it a little bit so you guys will know, size-wise, measurements and everything, and I'm going to weigh them in just a minute so you guys know. I know this video is going to be a little long, but it's been long overdue. And I love the knife so much that they did decide, there was one that got, I don't know if somebody didn't have the money or it got kind of lost in the shuffle, and they wound up having an auction. Matter of fact, BTF won the auction for the first one, and then they had a second auction, and I jumped at the chance to grab it. And, bid at the last minute like I do, and I grabbed it. So I'm a very happy owner. People wonder why I have to have two. Well, it's because I love the knife. And if I love a knife, I do. I'm always going to want to have two. I have another Sirius on the way that's on order, and I'm actually going to be buying another one on Monday that I found. So, but this one is the orange peel finish, so you guys can see that these are all of my, all of my knives from Dalibor right now, but on Monday, I'm going to be getting that other Sirius. It'll ship then, but I won't get it for a while. And but these are, I can't tell you guys how impressed I am with his work and how rock solid every knife is, how they lock up, how just unbelievable they are, and with leaner grinds and very user-friendly knife. I carry this knife a lot ever since I got it. And I do actually like the orange peel more than I thought I would. I really do. I don't mind it at all. I know some people don't like how shiny it is, but I really love the contrast between the shiny with the dark acid stonewash blade. So just absolutely in love with Dalibor Bergam and his knives, and shout out to Alpha Hunter as well, of course, on both Namors. And thank you guys for having that second auction. Yeah, you just won't find a more proud owner right here, man. These are my knives. They're not going anywhere. I'm not selling them, and I can't wait to get more. I told Dalibor already that I will take one of every single model that he makes. He doesn't even need to ask. I just told him that that's how big a fan I am of his knives, and you guys. But I'm just telling you, if you're looking for hard users, tough as heck knives that are really going to stand up. I know that the Thor 153, Lionhearted 86 has one right now that he's given a once over, and I'm sure they would both say the same thing, that Dalibor just makes one hell of a knife, and you just be hard pressed to find a knife that's made tougher and with better materials, that's just so rock solid, and a very user friendly knife with leaner grinds. I'm super impressed with them, and yeah, I mean, I got certificates on 3 of them. The Regulus did not come with a certificate, and there's the certificate I got yesterday. But yeah, I just cannot be more impressed with his knives, man. Very proud owner, very proud owner. So that's everything. I'll definitely talk about more. Oh yeah, I said I was going to weigh them. Let me do that real quick so that you guys know weight wise. But I gave you all the measurements on them. And I did get the scale out just so we could go ahead and measure, and you guys could see the difference between the 2, or 3, excuse me. So the Regulus with the 4-inch blade is probably the biggest, obviously the biggest knife that he has, 9.05. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a little bit of glare, but 9.05 is what it comes out to. All right. Sirius with the 3.5 inch and the shorter handle, 7.7. Okay, 7.7. And the Namors, 8.4, which, like I said, a 1/4 inch longer in the handle, so there's the difference. And this one, let's see if it comes up the same. 8.25, so a little bit less. And that's probably because these handles are sculpted, so that would be the only difference. So you just took a little material away. So 8.4, 8.25. I can't remember what I say, 7.4 on the Sirius. Or sorry, 7.7 on the Sirius, and 9.05 on the Regulus. So there you go. But yeah, that way you guys can see the EDC size ones to me. I mean, unless you're a hard using, operator using heavy duty all the time, Regulus would be the one for you. Other than that, EDC sizes, I would absolutely go. I mean, obviously the Namors are very hard to come by, but I would say that, if you can get your hands on one, you should absolutely try to do so. Like I said, there are only 10 of them out there. I got, I'm not trying to get a monopoly, but I definitely jumped at the chance to get the second one. And the Sirius, the Sirius to me is just an awesome. This is what I've been carrying today. I was out, I already put some pictures up on Instagram. I was out running around doing the junk that I got to do. And I'm telling you, I'm such a huge fan. And I just can't wait. He's got Draco is the next model that will be coming out. I think he said mine's going to be ready, pretty soon. And then I have what's called the Warncliffe is going to be coming out. Then he's got some smaller little, like almost you would say like the Curtis Nano size, but still just as beefy as this, just very small. I don't even know the measurements on the handle yet. I'm gonna talk to him about that. I want to see what the measurements are, but. Yeah, big fan, and I just can't be happier. So the Regulus, the Sirius, and both Namors, not going anywhere, safe to say, big fan. And I hope that covers it all, guys. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to, post a message. And I know this video's gone long, but I have been wanting to do it for a while, and I am a big fan. So hope that covers it. Anybody have questions, just let me know. Thanks a lot, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you again probably next week.